日本語の課 Japanese lessons. 第1課 Lesson 1. Konnichiwa. Welcome to the continuance of Lesson 1. Forgive me for the background and lighting. I'm kind of at work, but I'm just trying to get rid of some extra time I have. But we will be continuing with contracted sounds on the hiragana chart. And my name is Lacey, and I'll be your sensei. A small ya, you, and yo follow after letters in the second column and are used to transcribe contracted sounds. The contracted sound represents a single syllable. With the addition of a small ya, you, and yo, ki becomes kia, kiu, kyo. She becomes sha, shu, sho. Chi becomes cha, chu, cho. Ni becomes nia, niu, nio. He becomes hya, hyu, hyo. Me becomes mia, miu, mio. Di becomes dia, diu, dio. By adding diacritical marks to your contracted sounds, kia becomes gia, kyu becomes gyu, kyo becomes gyo, sha becomes ja, shu becomes ju, sho becomes jo, hya becomes bya, hyu becomes byu, hyo becomes byo. And by adding a small circle as a diacritical mark, hya becomes pya, hyu becomes pyu, and hyo becomes pyo. There is another small letter tsu, which is used when transcribing double consonants such as tt and pp. For example, katta, one, in relation to kata, shoulder. Sakka, rider. Happa, leaf. Zashi, magazine. Note that double consonant ends, as in san-nen, 3 years, are written with the n syllable plus a hiragana with an initial n sound, either na, ni, nu, ne, or no. For example, san-nen, 3 years. Annai, guide. When it comes to long vowels, when the same vowel is placed one right after the other, the pronunciation of the vowel becomes about twice as long as the single vowel. Be sure to hold the sound long enough because the length of the vowel can change one word to another. For example, oba-san, grandmother, oba-san, aunt, oji-san, grandfather, oji-san, uncle, suji, number. The long ee sound is usually transcribed by adding an I to an e vowel hiragana. There are a few words, however, in which e is used instead of e. For example, eiga, movie. One-san, big sister. The long oo sound is in most cases transcribed by adding a u to an o vowel hiragana. There are, however, words in which the long vowel is transcribed with an o, for historical reasons. Horitsu, law. To, 10. The pronunciation of n is treated like a full syllable in terms of length. Its pronunciation varies, however, depending on the sound that follows it. Japanese speakers are normally not aware of the different sound values of n. Therefore, you do not need to worry too much about its pronunciation. One variety of the N pronunciation merits discussing here. When it is followed by a vowel or at the end of an utterance, N indicates that the preceding vowel is long and nasalized. You hear nasalized vowels in French words such as bon, or the English interjection as in no. For example, hon, book. Followed by N, T, D, S, and Z sounds, N is pronounced as N, onna, woman. Followed by M, P, and B sounds, N is pronounced as M, sampo, stroll. Followed by K and G sounds, N is pronounced as NG, as in song, manga, comics. The vowels I and U are sometimes dropped when placed between voiceless consonants, K, S, T, P, and H, or at the end of an utterance preceded by voiceless consonants. For example, suki desu instead of suki desu, I like it. Japanese has a pitch accent. All syllables are pronounced basically either in high or low pitch. Unlike the English stress accent, in which stressed syllables tend to be pronounced longer and louder, in Japanese each syllable is pronounced approximately in equal length and stress. The pitch patterns in Japanese vary greatly depending on the region of the country. For example, asa, morning, namae, name, takai, high. Now that we've gone over the hiragana chart, we're going to take a look at the katakana chart, which looks like this. The pronunciation of katakana and its combinations are the same as those of hiragana, except for the following points. 1. The long vowels are written with this symbol. For example, ka, car, ski, ski, sutsu, suit, keiki, cake, boru, ball. When you write vertically, the symbol to lengthen your vowels needs to be written vertically also. For example, boru vertically would look like boru. 2. Additional combinations with small vowel letters are used to transcribe foreign sounds that originally did not exist in Japanese. For example, Halloween, Halloween, highway, highway, mineral water, mineral water, sherry, sherry, James, James, check, check, Philippine, Philippine, cafe, cafe, party, party, disco, disco, duke, duke. And 3. The sound V is sometimes written with boot. For example, the word Venus is sometimes written as Venus or Venus. Well, that's all for today's lesson. Join me next week when we work with greetings, expression notes, a sample dialogue, and our Lesson 1 vocabulary. Mata raishu!